but I actually served a Mormon mission in Brazil. And I was a music major when I left on my mission. I was actually a vocal performance major at Rick's College.
Like to sing?
Yeah, to singing.
Oh.
So I loved singing.
That's awesome.
And I was kind of, the plan was like become a choir director or something like that. But my mom had actually told me I needed to make more money. I think her exact number is like, you need to be making at least like $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
And which is funny, today that doesn't sound like much, but back then it was like saying $2 million a year.
Yeah.
And so I was on my mission and I was just like, man, I gotta figure out a way to make more money. And that's when I decided to change to business and computers. And so I came home and I started getting involved in the internet, and I went and joined the internet club at BYU, which was kind of more like a Unix users group really back then. And so I was in the Information Systems 201 class, and I was participating in this internet club. So I already knew a little bit about all this stuff. And the teacher, Dr. McKell, he had said a few things that were just a little out of date. Not like they were just totally wrong, but just a little out of date. And I corrected him in class the first day. And at the end of class, he said, hey, there's going to be some group projects. Well, this guy comes down at the end of class, goes, hey, can I be in your group? And that was Josh James.
Yeah, he was basically in the last row, tilting in his seat, not paying attention.
And he used to call me Front Row Joe, because I just learned early that I don't think I have like crazy ADHD, but I have a little bit of that, you know, and I always found that if I sat in the front of class, I could pay attention way better and learn better.
Yeah.
So I'd always sit in the front row in every class I was ever in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Josh came and we ended up building websites. I basically built his and Jeff Scalzon's, who's actually...
You're not saying that why Josh ran up to get to you is because he goes, that guy knows more than the professor.
Yeah. Josh is a smart guy. And I don't know. I know different things than what Lynn McKell knew. And so I helped them throughout the semester. Well, I ended up getting married in April, and my ex-wife now, Heidi, and I sold all of our wedding presents, and we had some savings, and we bought our first computer to basically start the company, which called JP Graphics at the time. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really? First name was JP
Graphics. So I was starting off just doing graphics design and just helping people design things, and then design their websites. And then I changed it to JP Interactive.
And this year, what year was this?
This was 1996.
96.
Yeah, April of 96. And so then
same year Netscape went public, the birth of the internet, right?
And then changed it to JP Interactive when we started doing more actual programming and stuff like that. And this is just like months later.
Yeah.
And Josh came on board. He basically moved down to LA, I think, or was doing some acting or something that summer.
He was a theater major.
Yeah, he was a theater. I don't know if that was his major. I think he was actually entrepreneurship was his actual major.
Okay.
But he loved doing acting and theatrical stuff. He was actually in Young Ambassadors. And so he came back after that summer, and we were always talking business, like always sharing ideas. And he had some business ideas when he came back. And I said, hey, well, why don't you just join me, and why don't you sell websites and I'll build them.
Yeah.
And that's actually how we got started. And that's when I think that's about the time we changed to JP Interactive. And then instead of having it be John Pestana, it was now James Pestana.
Oh, James.
Is what we just started telling everybody. But yeah, the JP originally was just John Pestana, and then it made it easy. We didn't even have to change the name of the company. I just started telling people something different.
So fun. So then you two were doing websites.
Yeah.
How did you come? And just to set for our listeners and viewers, at the time, the worldwide leader in measuring performance of websites was a company called Web Trends. That was and
they were even honestly still pretty young and
pretty young
started.
Then too.
I mean, even like my first tool I ever used was a tool called Analog, which would look at a server log and analyze it. And WebTrends at that time was a server log company too.
So after a year or two of doing websites, so somehow you came up with the idea, let's make a web-based analytics company. Is that right?
Yeah, it was the first real like SaaS analytics company.